directly at the RNC? What is this dude talking about?
Filter out the use of the tard, talk, because it makes you sound kind of childish and stupid.
No, I was just referring to what you called me a dumb idiot right before that.
Okay, we'll see how that's different.
Yeah.
No, it's something you can control, right?
All right, so back on your soapbox.
Okay, I'll be over here on my soapbox. It's a bunch of run-on bullshit. Anyway, it's not.
Wisconsin, if you don't want, why can't you be more like Minnesota?
If you can't fucking be honest and have a conversation, it is solely Zuckerberg did this because he wants people to vote for Trump. It's not that fucking hard. It's really not that hard.
No, he almost said it. That's why. Yeah,
I mean, almost walked him into it, but
yeah. Cool, dude. All right, you are wrong. Anyway, what's up, ladies? Miss Frisk left. It's a bummer. I'm just trying to see if I can.
Lost her.
I do this thing where I have to match like a memory game, the shitty comment in the chat to the face, and it's
pin the shitty comment.
It's very hard. Oftentimes I'm wrong, and it's like frustrating because then I forget what they said, and anyway.
Someone just said, more crazy people, please. They're so fun.
I'm doing my best, dude.
Moths the flame.
Fucking. Anyway, they don't actually, everything that we talk about more often than not, they don't give a shit about. Because there's always an example of something that, like, they have this big concern, like, oh, fuck freedom of speech. And then there's an instance where, like, but except for this, right? And you're like, well, that's not freedom of speech. That's just the government. Every fucking thing, there's always the antithesis.
There are no actual principles at work here. I mean, it's just, and I think that this is my theory about conspiracy theorists in general, is that it's much easier for them to come up with some spooky story and take aim at that than to do the actual hard work of taking aim at the true things that pose a danger to safety. So it's performative. I mean, we see that on both sides, so to speak, but there's just something really insidious at work with the MAGA folks, something really weird. It's weird.
Also, just the concept, the pretzel twisting, Gemini, that you were doing so masterfully, the gymnastics mentally that we're talking about having to tiptoe around this idea that, like, no, I think Russia should come on and be able to do this stuff and be protected constitutionally to their freedom of speech when it comes to interfering with our elections, which we know,
very patriotic, very American.
Which we know that is a stance that you have to take in order to remain consistent here, which is fucking hilarious. It's the same IVF thing where you're like, it starts at conception. Oh, then you hate IVF. Well, no. Okay, but like also, no, dude. Yeah, you figure it out. Fine. You know, if that's your concern, get off Facebook.
Yeah.
It's a company. It sucks. I get it. But you have cesspool Twitter now. You can go on fucking put on swastikas all you want on that channel now. They don't give a shit. Go do that. Let Russia fucking melt your brain over there. You know? Why don't you? All right, anyway. You're reaching, dude.
You did a great job talking to that guy about who's so concerned about the babies. I think it was the unborn babies, right? And you're like, no, nobody gives a shit about child welfare. Again, it's
you don't care.
If you care about saving babies' lives, can I recommend some children's cancer organizations for you to support instead of picketing outside of...
Or just Fuzzy Lakes.
Oh.
Nailed it. Fucking hang on. I just want you to know, I cast that lure. right in the center of that school of fish, dude.
Ryan is a paid actor.
What are you guys gonna do? Eat me up? You guys gonna eat me alive? Yeah, BS.
No, you probably taste bad.
Probably.
Very normal way to enter a conversation. Not weird.
Not weird. Dude.
No.
Not weird.
I know you guys just like to throw those controversial subjects out there. And
It's the same thing Dave did, Gemini. It's the same exact thing.
Just close your legs.
Liberals
Easy
do
day.
this.
It's not a redo. You guys treat abortion as a redo. Like, oh shoot,
It is a redo.
I got involved with
It's
this
a
one
get
guy.
out of. It's a medical get out of jail card, dude. Why don't you like that? What's that about?
It's not a redo,
Exactly.
it's an undo. It's
Exactly.
a control Z.
It's a Control Z.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I called you guys out. Just
Why
close
is
your
that
legs.
bad?
You know,
Why is that
you
bad?
know-
Oop, got
Why
us.
is that bad? Now you're talking about morality.
No, we're
It's hard. It's hard to talk to. it's
now
hard to
we're
talk
talking about morality.
It's hard to talk. That's what I'm saying, because it's hard to talk about morality when you guys always push the goalpost. Always. Every 10 years, you guys push the goalpost.
10 years.
Yeah, that's how it is. That's the trend.
What?
Just
when,
10 years?
What was the old goalpost?
Okay. Example:
Come back.
Right?
I'm ready. Yeah.
marriage, man and wife, right?
Yeah, sure.
Always held that way. Then you guys
Wow.
were like, okay, LGBT, okay, move the goalposts.
Yep. That's not a
With you
goalpost.
guys-
That's just society progressing correctly.
Just humor me. Just listen to me. So,
Okay.
at some point,
You're doing great.
you guys or I'm not saying you guys as a community. I'm just saying them as a community.
Well, you're saying
The-
you guys and them a lot, so we'll figure it out. Well, who are you
Okay,
talking about?
LGBT.
Liberals or the
LGBT.
gays? Sure.
LGBT or liberals, people that support that.
That's not the same.
Right.
It's not the same thing.
I'm just saying, I said LGBT, liberals that support that. So,
I support the biblical
okay,
person
wait,
as a
just-
Christian.
just-
Hold
humor
on.
me.
That's
Humor
the goalpost.
humor me. All right.
Wait. Humor me.
No. Look.
No. What was the goalpost before that? Watch this, dude. Well, I'm gonna
Oh my
telegraph
gosh, what's he
it.
gonna
I'm gonna
do?
telegraph it. Gemini, get ready for this shit. What was the goalpost before that they moved to the liberals?
What was the goalpost before that?
Before the gays got
they wanted
married.
marriage. They wanted marriage.
But
Okay.
before that, not the liberals, not gay people. What was the goalpost that they moved before that? 10 years before that.
10 years before that.
Whatever.
Just regular marriage.
What was the goalpost before gay marriage? Everything was great since 1776 till the gays got
Oh,
married.
now we're gonna pull the race card. Is that what you're trying to do?
You tell me what was the
Are you gonna put
goalpost?
are you gonna push?
What
are
was
you
the
gonna-
goalpost that the
Are-
liberals
no, no.
fucking did before gay marriage? Go for it, dude. Just
Oh,
try.
Like how
Just
the
try,
Democrats
dude.
created KKK. You know the Democrats created KKK.
Just try. Just try, man.
Oh, you didn't know that, did you?
Just try, dude.
You know the Democrats were the ones that imposed Jim Crow laws.
Just try.
Did you know?
What was the thing before we codified gay marriage into law? A bunch of heathen liberals let a bunch of people marry who they love. What was before that?
look,
What was the
you-
goalpost, Ryan? According to you, you fucking
According
mush
to
brain.
you, you're
What
not
was
gonna
the what
scream
was
in
the
your mic.
Jesus Christ?
You're not
What
gonna
was
scream in
what
your
was
mic.
the goalpost? I'll
No,
whisper.
sir.
I'll whisper.
You're not gonna scream
I'll
in your
whisper.
mic.
I'll whisper. I'll do what I want. What was the goalpost that they moved?
I have no idea. I think you're getting to
I know.
a race card.
I know.
You're pulling to a race card.
I'm not pulling to the race card. I'm saying
Those
society
liberals redefining marriage, right?
society progresses towards progressivism. I'm sorry for the clumsy fucking. That's what we do. No. Shush. You can't handle your fucking shit. So you're just gonna sit in silence for a second, Rai. You said liberals
Oh, what are you
push
gonna
back
do?
the
You gonna
goalposts.
preach to me?
Shush, I'm trying. If you'd shut the fuck up. Liberals push back the goalposts, and I'm saying just before gay people got married, gay people got married. What else happened?
Categorize yourself in race
What?
because the Democrats were the ones that were
Ryan,
pushing against that.
Ryan,
You
were
guys
people
are the ones
were
that are
people
filibustering.
segregated?
You guys were filibustering.
Do you think that was a goalpost that they moved, Ryan? Do you hate that was a goalpost that
Look,
was
you
that was
filib-
moved?
you guys
Answer me this. Answer me, Ryan. Do you think that people should still be segregated? That was a goalpost
created
that
that
got
bill?
moved. I'm not asking you. I'm not asking you
created
that.
that?
I'm asking you, dummy. I'm asking you, Ryan. If you're gonna sit here and be honest with
created-
yourself, do you think
Who
that
created that
goalposts
bill?
moving is good?
Who created that?
You
bill?
do, don't you? That's so fucking
created
interesting.
that bill?
That's so very interesting, Ryan.
No. You're looking at conservatism as
What was that word?
always. You're looking at conservatism as we're always got to.
One more time. What was that word? What was that word, dude?
Conservative.
No, that's not what you said. Say the word that you tried to say.
Now we're on. Okay.
Okay.
You're not even
All right.
letting me explain. You
can't explain because
I know what you're gonna do. You're gonna kick me off and you're gonna be like, ho, we got him, blah blah blah.
We did get him.
without even listening to my side.
Your side is that you're an idiot.
1960.
Your side is that you're not smart enough to have this conversation. That's your side. They do this all the time. They push these goalposts back, just like when they let black people sit in the fucking bus with us. That's your argument. That's the dumbest fucking thing. Yes, goalposts move to like allow society to progress. Turns out,
I, as a good Christian, I want to push those goalposts all the way back to the biblical definition of marriage, where it was a man and a woman and a woman and a child.
sometimes a goat. I don't know what's in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
There was a rib and an apple. Somebody fucked an apple. I don't know. It was crazy back then.
There was removing ribs involved.
Somebody was 970 years old. There was a bunch of incest, like a ton of incest, dude. Just so everybody's an incest baby.
Just as God intended.
Just as God. But then he sent his son who died and came back to make sure that you knew that this woman 1,000 years ago ate an apple that he put there and the snake told him to. Believable. Anyway, my thing is, they push the goalposts every fucking time. What do we want? We gotta treat them as people now? Yes, dude. You fucking monster. Yes. Sorry. Deal with it.
Something
Deal with it,
like
dude.
that.
I don't know. It's fucking so dumb.
And not weird. Oh, take a deep
Not
breath.
weird.
No, yeah.
You guys aren't weird. Sorry, I did kick him off because, like, again, we're not arguing with a human person. Sometimes we argue with human people, and I like those. Not as much as I enjoy that, which maybe I don't. Maybe I'm not enjoying
I
this.
think, listen, a background idea for you. I think that you need to have like a little flow chart, a little quiz, especially when it comes to reproductive rights. I think that they need to be able to, and shout out to Eric, I think it is, that says they need to be able to identify some key points of female anatomy.
Good luck, dude.
they're
We'll
allowed
get banned before we get that. Start using the word labia. The fucking no chance, dude. We'll be out of here so fast.
All the slurs are fine, but that one, oh no, it doesn't fly.
Hold on. This guy said, dog, go to the grocery store. We're sick of Democrat policies. Oh, we can't invite him. That sucks.
Is that
What
Sarah?
does that even mean?
What is a Democrat policy that isn't? All right, doesn't matter. Time and other illusions. Hell yeah.
Erica says the man in the boat. Yep.
Hell yeah, dude. Hello? No, not yet. Anyway, we got a rowdy one today. We sure did. Let's go. Well, we got Taft. Oh, bummer. Nice. Fucking love this thing. Who's creepy breathing? It's probably me. It's likely me.
It's Sarah. She's back there over your shoulder.
She is ever present.
Peace be upon her.
Hello, Taft.
Hey, what is a woman?
Did you just mute yourself? What's going on? Hello?
What is a woman?
Are you on the side of the road right now? Do you need help?
Is that a response to a Jeopardy question?
Did we ask? Are we? Am I Alex Trebek? I'm Alex Trebek. I'm Ron Bergen. All right. Hello?
What is a woman?
Your mom.
That was a good answer.
Thanks, dude. Why are you talking like this?
Just being very normal and very
Can you answer the
human.
question or not?
No.
Why?
Because I don't think that you want to know. Because I don't think that you've ever seen one in real life.
I think
so
you're
I don't think.
delusional.
Why?
Just answer the question.
Sure. Anyone who decides that they identify as a woman.
No, you can't. You can't say woman when you answer it.
Anyone who chooses to identify that way.
Wrong.
Oh, okay. Well, see, now what are we gonna do? Nobody. That was it. That was the extent of your fucking brilliance.
He's so original. with
That was
question.
it, dude.
Oh, I was so ready for you to ask him to define a chair.
I was gonna get there, but I wanted to answer that first. It doesn't. Fuck, man.
I mean, maybe he took the L on that one. That was him conceding. He's like, oh, shit. Okay, I never thought about that.
I don't think that there's any confusion about who's the L in that. What's up, Alan?
What's up? I love your guys' conversation.
Nice.
Just wanted to comment in that. And the recent ones were quite entertaining. But I do have some questions. Like, what do you guys like? You do this a lot. It's like my third coming on stream. Encountering like conversations like have no substance, just like a barking and a character ad hominem. Like there's no like good discourse. Like, is that normal on this?
Yeah. Yeah, dude. First time? No, I think the reality is I think that it is probably 60-40 bad 70-30, 75-25 bad conversations to reasonable conversations. Something that we can like have an actual like conversation and that's it. I think that like I'm very careful not to ad hom until somebody does, and then I'm fucking all on board. I'll throw out the baby with the bathwater.
Makes sense. Yeah, it makes total sense. Like I would say, like if we're talking politics and who you're voting for, like at least have an informed decision on why you're voting for the person, right? Would you agree?
Sure.
Okay. Like, because this was interesting. Like, what is the percentage of like people who participate in the federal election? Like 62-something%.
Not good. Yeah, it's not
And
good.
then, how many of that 60% was actually informed when they're making the vote?
Whoa. Well, and that's also there's a lot of reasons why. That is why we don't have a national holiday to protect this like supposedly like important hallmark of our Constitution and like our government and our governmental process. There's lots of reasons why that is. There's lots of reasons why districts are gerrymandered to favor Republican constituencies. There's lots of reasons why they're trying to close polling places in like historically black and communities of color. Like it's
Systematic disenfranchisement. Yeah.
So there's a reason why there are lots of reasons other than people's sort of apathy towards participating. It is also by design. There's two things happening why our turnout is lower than what it should be. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. And I agree. It's just wanted to, hopefully I'm not the only person who thought that.
Not at all.
You might be considered crazy if you're the only person.
No.
You know?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I just thought, like, I noticed in conversation people are throwing around, like, liberal and conservative, and then throwing parties as if they're, like, synonymous. Would you agree that there's, like that's not equal, right?
Yes and no. I could say that I'm a fucking communist, but there's no dude waving around a hammer and sickle on this ballot. So I think that the reality being what it is, leftists, democratic socialists, leftists, liberals, Democrats, we're all voting for Kamala, not because necessarily that's who we are identifying as. That's not how conservatives are identifying as, like voting for Trump. Lots of them don't identify like that. But it is like a necessary party affiliation. And I don't think that we need to, like, you can say that, but at the end of the day, that's what's happening. There's two parties. That's who we're voting for.
Yeah, because so then you would say it's value based, right?
Value based?
Like, so you're voting because it matches your values?
I think it's closer to my values and approximation than the other side, definitely.
Yeah, that's fair. And
Yeah.
I would say unfortunately, I don't want to like put myself in the box. I'm like the moderate in the middle. I agree with both. I wish mom and dad would stop fighting type thing, but
Yeah. I know,
Yeah,
but
the dad in this case is like an abusive son of a bitch.
Alan, I just want to pause. While we're having a really good conversation. I'm going to ruin it. What's up, dude?
Hey, man.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Dude, what is with you? I mean, you're fuck, and fuck. I mean,
You don't like the profanity.
well, I don't mind the profanity as much.
Clearly, because that's
No, I
start off the
90%.
conversation.
mean, it wrecks your conversation, dude. I mean,
Does it?
Yes, it does.
You calling me gay in the comments, though, you're coming from like a place of like objective, criticism here, constructive.
I'm sorry for doing that. I just
Okay,
thought
got it.
that would make I thought that would make an impact.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It really lends credence to your criticism, right? It really that is, you're coming from a place of get the fuck out of here. Got it. Cool, man.
Nice of him to elevate the discourse.
What a good guy. I just wanted to embarrass you. I just think that you're dumb. Anyway, sorry, Alan. I fucking
Alan is chill. Sorry, Alan.
Alan's chill.
Thank you.
Alan's doing great.
But because this is why I'm careful with my words, because current decision making on the presidency, I feel undecided. And if I say I'm going to vote for Trump, I don't want to be like a MAGA rightist, or if I say, that makes sense.
Yeah, sure, kinda. Alan, let's respectfully.
Yeah.
I like you. What in the year of our Lord 2024?
Yeah.
In September, New Year's makes no difference. What are you undecided about, dude?
So, okay, I overheard, I lack familiarity with, I'll admittedly say, with women's health. Right? And I could summarize what I understood at the time about a decision being overturned. I almost saw it like a I would say empathetic, but more of like on a black and white. Like, I feel that the justice, or what is it, the
Supreme
judicial
Court.
system, judicial system, it wasn't adequately equipped due to the lack of legislation, or to support its constitutional ruling. And the Dobbs case, if I'm reading the opinions and dissents correctly, like, it seems like they're kicking the can around the road since 1976. And that's how I
You don't
summarized
feel like
it.
there's a strong constitutional basis for like the right to privacy?
Well, no. So, I agree with the 14th Amendment in the privacy part, right? But if through my research, like, it seems like every opinion from the Supreme Court, they kind of like kicked it down, and they're like, well, our opinion, we're not equipped for this, and it's not this case, and set this precedent. And correct me if I'm totally wrong, but that's how I was reading it. And I noticed that a lot with like bigger items. You can name all the items that we're referring to for this election, and it seems like we're paying the sins of our fathers, if that makes sense, right? Or no? Like, previous administrations, previous legislatures don't focus on the problem, but rather be looking at the political retainment of their office versus the people.
That's going to be a necessary evil, I think, Alan. But if you zoom out a little bit, right? This is what I like to do. If you zoom out and say, how does this meaningfully affect people in America right now? People, women specifically, right? How is this? Has this positively affected women?
From what I'm learning, that's a negative. That's no.
Okay.
Because it's
Not
limiting.
only-
Because it's limiting limiting it to a state's decision who may be blue or red or whatever, and it's like people are not getting the proper resources that they need.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. So that is the women are undergoing unspeakably horrific shit all over the country. Stuff that is mind bending. That people are sitting here going like, that's what will move out of the state or whatever. I find that being undecided on that, just the cruelty of this finding and how it was implemented, on how Merrick Garland Obama was denied his Supreme Court justice, and how these judges swore under oath that they would not repeal Roe v. Wade and then did, and Clarence Thomas being a absolute political pawn and bought and paid for on a court that should be above and outside politics, that was in its inception and Alito is hanging a fucking upside down flag, clearly corrupted in its vision and so a corrupt, packed, illegal court did this decision which is harming women. And so when you zoom out a second and go, well, both sides, what's the legality here? I would argue that it's very clear which is doing more harm than good on this side, and it is definitely not the liberal position where this healthcare should be accessed by anybody that needs it. And it's been made. Okay, great. What else are you
I guess the question. Well, this is last coverage. So the question is, at what level is when I introduce how many people vote? Correct me if I'm wrong. The statistics, things like 28 to 30% participate in the primaries of the Congress and the Senate versus the 6. Everyone, our civics has focused all the stuff on the president, right? And the question I have, so at what level should this solution be found, right? Because if we say universal healthcare, that was the ACA Act, right? And that was passed through legislation, right?
Yeah.
And do you think, not to put a quick Band-Aid on it or something, but would legislation suffice this solution by making lack of better word, that type of bill, if you will, is it legislative? Should we be focusing hey, who's our senators and congressmen who's not getting the job done, or are we going to focus solely on the executive branch? If that makes sense.
I don't think so. I don't think it makes sense.
I mean, I think, Alan, from what I'm hearing you say, definitely vote at all levels, including even your more local government, community level as well. But for sure, you're not wrong, that the president shouldn't be the sole focus here because, among other things, the legislature, they legislate, but they also hold the purse, right? So...
Because, my concern is this, and you've seen it in previous presidencies, Obama specifically, when you have, regardless of the party of the president and the Congress and the Senate are on opposite spectrums, if you will, nothing gets done, right? But we look at the policy currently because it's the presidential election, and we look at the policy proposals that they're doing to pander votes, and we're yeah, that's good for them. So I don't agree with how Trump says it's all to the states. I don't agree with that. But I don't also think that it's either Harris's, Harris will President powers have veto power, not introduction of legislation.
That's why, Alan, we need a big blue wave, my friend. Please do vote. Also, I don't know where you are.
I just don't understand what else you're undecided about.
Oh no! What else I'm undecided is my lack of understanding of how economics work, because I think that if I'm understanding it correctly, like inflation and stuff like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's not done by the president. That's the Federal Reserve that influences that policy.
Not
And we like to
entirely.
contribute. I think the last 2 years and the first 2 years of Trump's and the first 2 years of Biden's presidency.
It's more.
Or okay, pick me if I'm
Because,
wrong.
like, yeah,
But
sure.
they say that they say the talking points of like the 8 trillion or 8 billion, 8 billion rise from both of them in our deficit, and I feel like both of them are responsible for equal amount. One at the beginning of the wave of COVID, and one at the end of the wave of COVID.
Well,
So
think about what that means.
Yep.
So think about what was happening at the time that Donald Trump added that amount of money to the deficit, and why Joe Biden would have added that money to the deficit. Was it because he was just out here, cutting good trouble a check, or was it because he was cleaning up a disastrous COVID response where PPP loans were just forgiven, yet student debt isn't? Each presidency leads into the next, the former into the and so that has to do with a lot of why the economy was so good under Trump to start with, was because Obama and his recovery after Bush and the housing crisis that left a cratered economy under Obama in the first 2 years. I can't tell if you can hear me or not. Point is, financially, you can look as far back as you want, and you will find the Democrat president cleaning up a financial ruin from a Republican administration.
Yeah, and what's really apparent
That's true
now.
That's true for Bush. That's true for Clinton.
Mm-hmm.
Every single time that Republicans tear regulations out of the market and just say, "Go nuts, everybody!" Inflation goes up. And then the Fed has to raise interest rates. Democrats take over. Everyone's like, these fucking Democrats ruined the economy. And then it's just the previous administration's mismanagement. And that's true as far as I've been alive, as far as every president that I've been involved with voting for. And it is very clear as to what the previous administration's impact on this economy has. And this is you can also look at other sort of developed nations' recovery from COVID and look at our recovery versus theirs and see that we're doing exponentially better than others in terms of inflation and recovery, and see that the policy, Inflation Reduction Act and Infrastructure Acts, all of these things are helping to slow inflation and grow our economy and jobs, and they're unequivocally they have done better than Trump did. Biden has added so many more jobs post-COVID recovery. It's not even close, not even remotely close. So there is this very false idea that Republicans are good for the economy. Mm-hmm. And that's just not true. It's almost invariably never true.
I would agree that no party singly is better for anything. Because I would argue that, well, it's actually kind of beautiful in a way that American values is left for that. There's no, if you were to look it up, what are American values overall? That would be either multiple pages of listing to describe everyone's individual value, and that's what's wonderful about it. I live overseas. That's not the case anyway. That's not the case. So
sure.
In short, Americans don't know what they got in a way. But yeah,
I know. I that's a big reason why I am like this, because I lived abroad. So now we know that things can be better than they are here, for sure. The one thing that I'll say too is that while presidents' jobs don't have anything to do with the inflation, it is a result oftentimes of policy that will affect the market and inflation. So we can't ignore somebody who dismantled a pandemic response team, went months without declaring a national emergency or in fact even acknowledging that it was real, and then grasped their pearls and suddenly like the economy, like everything was shuttered and we were on the back foot. And what that does to an economy, and so like it's not as if the Fed doesn't talk to the president and talk with policies about like